Welcome everyone, this is On Just Restart, and this time we're going to be talking about the very last Smash DLC character coming to Smash Bros. We just got the Sakurai Presents for Kazuya from Tekken. He's coming to the game, he's releasing soon, we got to see how the character plays, and then at the end of the Sakurai Presents we got to see arguably the most savage Mii Costume set of reveals ever, because there's a whole bunch of characters there that a lot of people were sort of hoping would be actually playable as full-on DLC characters, and yet they were all Mii costumes, so we got a whole bunch of those. We'll be discussing that as well, but the big thing here is that right after that, Sakurai made sure to say that the very next DLC character will be the last DLC character, and that there will be no more after that. So Sakurai was very clear. Fighter Pack number 11 will be the very last DLC pack for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, the final character. So for this video, we're going to be looking at everything that Sakurai sort of showed us towards the end of that Sakurai Presents, piecing it all together, and trying to figure out who that final character could be. Now before we jump into things, let me very quickly talk about my social media. You may see a few different things here on screen. You can check that all out. It is linked in the description below, and of course, if you like what you're seeing here, you can subscribe. To get things started, let's first talk about there being only one more character left. There has been some speculation that maybe there would be like a final Smash update, and that this final Smash update would include a bonus character right after Fighters Pass Volume 2, that there would be one more. Maybe not with the whole stage and all of that, but at least one more bonus character, maybe something similar to Piranha Plant. But with this recent Sakurai Presents, he said that the next one will be the last one, and followed it up by saying that there will be no more afterwards. Could you possibly construe this to mean, oh, he just means for Fighters Pass Volume 2? I guess you could maybe construe that, but I feel like you're really stretching it there. He said it twice, back to back. The last character is the next one, and there will be no more after that. So really, I feel like it would be a much safer expectation to assume that the next character will be the last one, and there will be no more after that. But with that in mind, who could be this final character? A lot of people are making the argument that they gotta end things with a bang, that the next character, the final character, needs to be the kind of character that will usher waves of hype and momentum, and it will be trending all throughout the internet, and everyone will just be incredibly excited about this character. It'll be a mind-blowing Megaton reveal. That's what some people are sort of expecting here. It would be the conclusion of this long sort of adventure for Sakurai with developing for Smash Bros. And this could very well be his final Smash Bros. Game, because he has been talking about having an early retirement. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be retiring this year or next year, but from one of the more recent Famitsu columns, Sakurai has been talking about how he is looking towards the end, that we are getting there. He may develop a few more games after that, but the point is that the end is in sight, and with that in mind, maybe there won't be another Smash Bros. Game developed by Sakurai, so perhaps he wants to end things off with a particular character that will be very special. I can understand why people might think that this would be the case, but then let me ask you something. Who would be that special character? Could it be Crash Bandicoot? It would be nice to get an Activision rep in there, because they haven't had any representation yet, and Crash Bandicoot does have a history with being used for marketing for Sony back in the 90s as a sort of anti-Nintendo kind of thing, a very competitive rivalry sort of thing, and having Crash in there would be a little poetic, and he is an iconic character, so for sure it'd be appreciated by a lot of fans. Maybe. But then I feel like a lot of other people would feel like, Crash is not that cool. Master Chief, though, that makes way more sense. That's way more exciting. Halo Infinite's coming out this year. Nintendo and Microsoft have this booming relationship with all the different collaborations over the last few years during the Switch era, and there seems like there's even more on the way. So why not have Master Chief, the biggest, most important character from Microsoft, a direct competitor to Nintendo, or somewhat of a direct competitor to Nintendo? I think a lot of people would think that that might make a bigger deal than Crash Bandicoot. And I'll tell you that either of those characters would have me very excited, and I think they would be nice characters to end things off. But then there are other people who are arguing perhaps Rayman. Rayman would be amazing. Rayman is also an iconic platforming character. Nintendo and Ubisoft have an incredible relationship. Right now, Ubisoft is working on Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and they tripled their development team. Apparently there's going to be about 300 or so members on this project. It's a big deal. It's coming out in 2022. It's just another example of the incredibly strong relationship between Nintendo and Ubisoft. Yet despite that, Ubisoft is one of the few remaining companies that doesn't have one of their own playable characters in Smash Bros. Why? So maybe finally Ubisoft will get Rayman in there as the final character for Super Smash Bros. Also, I feel like a pretty good option. But I gotta tell ya, I'm not sure that there's really gonna be a singular character that's going to make everyone happy. It doesn't matter what character has been revealed over the entirety of the Smash Ultimate DLC, there's always been some group somewhere that's been upset about a particular character. You just can't make everyone happy. So regardless of who this character is, this character may end up being like that climactic final reveal kind of character for a decent amount of people, but then there's also going to be another large group of people who will feel like that character is just, okay, they ended it with that, really? So I guess what I'm trying to argue here is that I don't think the final character is going to necessarily be a big final climactic reveal, because every character added in the DLC is special. Every single one. So whatever this character is, it's just going to be about as special as all the other characters. Maybe not all the characters are as special to you, but some of them may be, and perhaps the next one will be, but it also might just be special for someone else instead. And when you look over the last few Smash games and those final character reveals, they've never been something that I feel like screams big final climactic reveal for Smash Bros. The final base character for Smash Ultimate was Incineroar. The final DLC character for Smash for Wii U and 3DS, it was Bayonetta. The final character for Fires Pass Volume 1, it was Byleth. All these characters, I think, are wonderful characters, but I wouldn't say any of them are like, oh my god, that was the most hype reveal of all the potential characters for Smash Bros. And it was a great way to close things out. No, it just hasn't been that way, and I don't think it's going to be that way necessarily for Fires Pass Volume 2 either. But what I do think is that whatever character this is, it's going to be a character that is going to get just as much love and attention as all the previous characters. Each Fires pack has been pretty special. Every time we get that Sakurai Presents, we get a nice history lesson on that franchise and the game and the character. We get to see a lot of their movements and actions, and we get to see a little bit of the thought process behind the design of the character and why they made the decisions they did, and a lot of it is meant to pay homage to the series. And as a fan of that respective series, a lot of people really appreciate the different characters. I know I love Pyra and Mythra because I love Xenoblade 2, and I think they're amazing. I love Banjo-Kazooie because of all the attention to detail for that respective game series as well. And I'm sure some people feel similarly about Kazuya from Tekken, or Terry Bogard from King of Fighters or Fatal Fury. So whoever this character is, I believe with full confidence that they're going to get the attention they deserve. But if you're not a fan of whatever character or series is the final reveal, then you're not going to feel like it's a big final climactic reveal. With that said, let me kind of move on to my own personal speculation on who this final character could be. I brought up Rayman and Crash Bandicoot and Master Chief earlier because I feel like all of those would be fantastic options and they would be great additions to the roster for sure. But I'm personally not really expecting another third-party character. Could be another third-party character, it's a possibility. There's no rule out there that there has to be a particular pattern, and a lot of the DLC has been third-party characters, but going into Fires Pass Volume 2, I was always thinking that it was going to be a bit more of a better ratio than Fires Pass Volume 1. This much further into the game, it's even harder to get deals going with the different third-party partners that could be involved, and at the end of the day, this is a Nintendo fighting game, and if you want to keep people interested this much further into the life cycle, it might make sense to actually add in Nintendo characters because this is a Nintendo fighting game and you want to keep that core Nintendo fan base happy. So there's reason to add actual Nintendo characters, as they have. They added Byleth from Fire Emblem to finish off Fires Pass Volume 1, and even before that started, there was the bonus character Piranha Plant. But then with Fires Pass Volume 2, we opened things up with Min Min, and not too long ago, we also got Pyra and Mythra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So there's been some Nintendo characters, and maybe there's already been enough added. Maybe there doesn't need to be any more. Maybe they have another character in mind, like maybe Rayman or Crash. That would be a great way to end things off. But looking at how they sort of finished off the Sakurai Presents with Kazuya, and they had that big sort of Mii costume trailer that had 4 pretty prominent characters that have been long-time speculated characters for Smash Brothers all at the end, I found it to be kind of peculiar. So we got Shantae. Shantae has been a long-time fan-requested character. She got her own song. She's being added as, I guess what you would say, like an enhanced Mii costume. But then also we're getting Dragonborn, which is the character from Skyrim. So we're getting a Skyrim character in as a Mii costume. But then there's also Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia, another character that a lot of people have been sort of speculating on could be like maybe one of the final characters for Smash Brothers, and he's a Mii costume. And then there's also Dante from Devil May Cry, another character that a lot of people have been speculating wildly could be the final character. It's a lot of pretty prominent sort of third-party Mii costume characters that all of which were sort of highly speculated characters for the Smash Ultimate roster. To me, it almost felt like this was like finishing up with all the third-party stuff. And I could be mistaken. There could be one more. There's no hard rule or reason or fact or piece of evidence here that says that the next character won't be a third-party character. But I've always sort of felt that 3 and 3 would be the ratio for Fire's Pass Volume 2, and even distribution. And the way they ended things off here, it really felt like they were just trying to squeeze in all the final third-party characters at this point, and then the final reveal, presumably in a Nintendo Direct around September or October, I think will be a Nintendo character. And I really feel like the timing of that is actually kind of interesting and potentially really important. So if we look back to normal years, we usually get a Direct around September or October. This year is looking to be a bit of a normal year, at least in terms of when Nintendo holds their Directs. We had the February Direct, we had the June E3 Direct. September or October makes sense for that final character. It's about 2 to 3 months from now, and it kind of makes sense in terms of timing for that final character reveal. But around this time, specifically on October 8th, we'll be seeing the release for Metroid Dread, which may sort of hint at where I'm getting at here. I think there's a decent chance that we could be seeing a Nintendo character to end things off, and I think as Metroid Dread is coming out, and they'll surely have more news coming out about it, especially during that Nintendo Direct, they may use all this Metroid excitement and news and information to sort of lead into that final character reveal as well. It may all sort of be connected here. And it wouldn't be the first time that Nintendo has used a Nintendo character as a DLC for promotion of a particular franchise. Look at Byleth from Fire Emblem, for example. And if you look at the way Nintendo is pushing Metroid now, look at how much content we saw during the Treehouse. They opened up the Treehouse with Metroid Dread, and they closed out the Treehouse with Metroid Dread. It seems that Nintendo is doing everything they can to push Metroid this time around, and that may include that we see some Metroid material elsewhere. I still have the hope of Samus in Fortnite, but it seems like whatever talks there were, those fell through. But there could be other things coming in the future. Maybe we do see some sort of crossover in Monster Hunter where there is some sort of like actual Metroid monster in there, say Ridley, for example. And maybe there's other things as well. Maybe there's a big spirit event in Smash Bros, and that's all there is. We are still missing some very choice characters from the Metroid series that have not been added yet, specifically Sylix, which has led people to believe that maybe Sylix could be like that final character added to Smash Bros. Maybe at one point Sylix was going to be added early on to the DLC, but with the delay of Metroid Prime 4, this character was pushed off. That's a possibility, and maybe that's why we still haven't gotten a spirit event involving Sylix or the other Metroid characters. I think if you were to add any sort of playable character from the Metroid series, Sylix would certainly make a lot of sense. But now that we're getting Metroid Dread, I think there's another option here. And that is EMMI, Emmy. Emmy is this interesting sort of robotic device creature threat in Metroid Dread that chases you around and seems to be a big part of the mechanics and world and story for Metroid Dread. It's a character that's sort of creating that theme of Dread throughout the gameplay, and it's going to have a prominent role throughout the story. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe the final character for Smash Brothers is Emmy. And having this character in Smash Bros. Would serve as great promotional material for Metroid Dread. And if you look at what these robotic creatures are, there's certainly a few different variations of them, so they could easily have 8 colored skins. That probably be very easy. We'll see more with the game moving forward, I'm sure. But also looking at what we've seen it do already, I feel like there's definitely some moveset potential there as well, and it could be a very unique character considering the way it moves around. So I'm just putting it out there, maybe the final character for Smash Bros. Is Mii, and it would be really cool. It would be a great way to celebrate Metroid and its 35th anniversary and get people hyped up for Metroid Dread, and it would be a nice final character for the DLC. Will it be the character that everyone will be sort of hoping for? No, but I don't think there's any character in existence that will be that final big sort of hype character that everyone has been hoping for, because everyone is hoping for something kind of different. And I'm not trying to say that I'm 100% committed to the idea that it's going to be Mii. Maybe it's another Nintendo character, maybe it's a Zelda character, maybe it's something else altogether. Maybe it's Waluigi, maybe it's Dixie Kong or Funky Kong to celebrate Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary. There are certainly other options out there. But regardless of what this character ends up being, whether it's a Nintendo character or a third-party character, as I said earlier, I feel like whatever it is, Sakurai is going to do a great job of presenting this character and representing the franchise as a whole. But what do you guys think? Who do you think will be the final character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, everyone, this is Honest Restart. Thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you all really soon. Take care.